Hey y'all, what's up? I recently had a situation happen on Etsy, and if you're a reseller or new to reselling, I figured I would just do a very quick video so that maybe if this ever happens to you, you won't feel so panicky. It is, I don't know, Etsy is not the seller's friend. And from what I understand, eBay is not really the seller's friend either. But Etsy is for sure not a seller's friend. They will always generally side with the buyer. Now, there's valid reasons for that, obviously, because you've got a bunch of people out there doing things that they're not supposed to on Etsy, like the drop shippers, people who are stealing other people's artwork and passing it off as their own and actually selling more of it than the original artist, which really sucks. But you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself, right? So the first thing you do is you take tons of pictures. I see people on Etsy putting up like 4 pictures, and I don't think that's a very good idea. I'm not here to tell you what you should do as a reseller, right? But I take multiple pictures for a couple reasons. First of all, if I'm buying something, I don't want to see 2 pictures. I want to see like as many pictures as I possibly can, especially if it's something that's fairly pricey. Um, People don't read the description. Sometimes I don't even look at the damn pictures. So I try to put the measurements in the listing itself, and then I will also take pictures with the item with a ruler. But you would be surprised how many people don't realize that you can scroll through and see multiple pictures. And I get so many messages saying, "What are the measurements?" And I'm just like, sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll just screenshot what is actually in the listing and send it to them. Other times I'll just type it in because some people don't know how to read a ruler. I know that's kind of crazy, but it's true. So, basically, as a seller, you have to make this as simple as possible for people to buy from you. Like, don't make them jump through the hoops. So, multiple pictures, because especially if it has any flaws. You take close-ups, you take all manner of pictures. Like, don't try to just cover your butt by saying, as is, as found. You're not an auction house, and that might work for some of the big auction houses, and it might slide you through on a few people, but you really should note every single flaw. And I'm saying you, and I'm here to say, like, if you want me to buy from you, this is what I would require as a buyer. I'm not telling you as a seller, you must do this, because obviously there are people out there who are making a killing on Etsy and they don't do most of this stuff. So I'm like, I don't know, your mileage may vary always. So take it with whatever. Um, but it's always good to know what everyone else is doing, I think, right? So you take the information that you've got from everybody else and you put it all in together and you figure out what works best for you. But as an Etsy seller, especially as a new Etsy seller, there's nothing more terror striking in your heart than getting a message like, buyer needs help, item never arrived, or item not, just damaged or whatever. So, and it's funny, the people who are always messaging you and asking for special things like discounts or a better price or this, that, and the other, they're the ones that end up being the pain in the tails later down the road. I'm not sure why that is, but it just is. So in that situation, I've learned to be wary, right? Hope for the best, but expect the worst. Isn't that a horrible way to do this? But when you're dealing with people online, there's not there are people out there who do not have good intentions, and I hate that. I am like a freaking stupid Pollyanna. I want to think the best of people. Jason automatically thinks the worst, so like somewhere in the middle is a good thing. But this guy messaged me. I had a crystal globe. I mentioned it in one of my weekly recaps the other day. Sold that it didn't come, it came with a glass base, but the glass base had someone's name etched on it and it had a chip on the corner. So I 86 that little base, and I had a cute little brass base, and it didn't have anything to go with it, and the globe fit perfectly on this base. So I put those two together and I sold them like that. And this person messaged me and said, "Can you do better on the price?" And I'm like, here we go. So he wanted to offer me all, I think it was $15 below what my listing price was. And I'm sorry, that's 50% off. I don't think so. Mm-mm. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Today is not the day. So I counter offered with what I would bottom line accept. And he came back and he added a couple more dollars to his original offer. And I'm like, no, sorry. No. And I had to get better at that. It's difficult when you want to please people and you want to sell things. I totally get it. But you have to hold your ground. If you know that you can sell it for a profit after your shipping, after your time, after everything else, then go for it. Sell it for whatever. But if you know that you need to make a certain amount of money, don't, don't bend over backwards to please this person. So I packed it up, and I packed it up the day he bought it. That's usually what I do. If I get an order after, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, normally I'll pack that first thing in the morning. But if it comes in after that or overnight, I'm packing it first thing the next morning. So I packed it up, sent it off, and it was noted as delivered on July 19th. Right? Was that 19th? Yeah. So I go on about my business, right? Onward and upward, doing the things. And let's see, 10 days after it was noted as delivered, I get a message. This was never delivered. I never received this. I'm like, all right, here we go. So, first thing I did, I checked the tracking. Okay, FedEx. Looked at FedEx. They had a picture of it. Took a screenshot of the picture. I messaged him back and I said, I'm sorry, it's marked as delivered. And there's confirmation. I never received it. I never received it. I don't know what's going on. I got a wrong item and I took that item and sent it on to Amy in Connecticut. But I never received my item. I'm like, well, this guy's got a freaking story. So I was getting pissed, quite honestly. Like, dude, I'm not a liar at all. And I'm sitting here looking at this delivery confirmation and it went to the address you put in Etsy. So what I did was I went to Google and I looked up that address and I looked on the satellite images and I found the house. And I'm like, okay, house. Then I went to the FedEx and showed their delivery photo, proof of delivery, and compared. It was the identical house. It was delivered to his house on his doorstep. Same green house, same white, same cement stoop. So I took those pictures and combined them and I sent that to him and I said, it was delivered to your house. I don't know where it went, but you did receive it. You might need to check someone else or reach out to FedEx. He continued to go through and contact me several messages over and over, many messages too. And I'm like, look, I don't have an Amy. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you're trying to scam me, basically. So if you contact me any further, I'm going to consider it harassment. He messaged me back again. I'm not trying to harass you, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, I stopped responding after that. Now, will he come back and give me a 1-star review? Maybe. At this point, do I care? No. Because I don't. I know I sent it. I know it was delivered to his house. After that, I have no idea what the hell happened to it, and it's not my problem. It's your job as an adult human being who orders things online. Get your packages. You know, there's porch pirates all over the place. So, did it get stolen? I don't know. But I know I sent it, and I know it got delivered, so it is not my problem. The second or the third part of that is make sure that your policies state, I make sure, let's just rephrase it. I make sure that it says in every single listing, I do not accept returns. I do not offer refunds. These are vintage items and they are sold as is as found. All the conditions are noted above. Period. Every single listing. I have it in a note. I copy and paste it. And then I also, in that note, link directly to my store policies that outline everything, just like it does in the listings. So it's covered there. It's covered in my policies. And if someone messages me, I'm not a jerk about it. I'm empathetic up to the point where they start being a jerk. And then it's like, all right, let's go, bud. But I still stay professional. But I'm like, I don't care whether you get it or not now. No cares in the world. So those are just a few things. Another time I had this toothpick holder and I bid quite a bit of money for it, which was stupid. But that's one of those live and learn kind of situations. I received it and there was some chips on it, or what looked like chips on it. I don't know if it was supposed to look that way or not. It was one of those brutalist kind of things, and brutalist art is a little odd and rough. So pictures from all angles, all angles. Sent it off to this person. They received it. A couple days later, the item is not as described. It's broken. There's chips on it. And I'm like, same chips. Blah, blah, blah. Now, this is when I was still kind of relatively new and still cared whether you were going to leave me a crappy review or not. So I'm trying to bend over backwards to make this right. And it was just like, whatever. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Does it suck? Do I want to lose a star seller status? I don't. But at the end of the day, like, you got to do what you got to do. And there's people out there who are not honest and who are deceitful and who suck. So just do everything you can in your power to take care of what you know is right. And hopefully it'll all, work out. Fingers crossed.